Growing up, I came from a household with four siblings, and I was way younger than my brothers. So as the years passed, they moved out and I was alone. Now as time went on, I met friends and we became one. We went to school together, spent the night at each other's houses, and went to college together. We had our own little crew. We were unbreakable. This is the same thing that happened to these group of guys. They were tight. They've always seen skipping school at Trips Paradise and running from the cops. Raheem, Steele, and Q were unstoppable. They also had this other member, Bishop, or Roland Bishop by his government. And if you looked into him, you could see that he was a little disturbed. He lived with his grandmother and father. No word on who his mother is. She could have died giving birth to him 17 years ago when he was born in 1974. I say he's 17 because he is still in school, and the police chase him for skipping school. 9 times out of 10, if you're 18, they won't press the issue. But I have an argument for this too. His grandma seemed upbeat,
Oh, morning, baby. Breakfast is ready.
but his dad was quiet and never spoke. He even looked at him like he had mental issues. These issues might have been caused because his dad used to be in prison for unknown crime and he was harassing the prison yard and he was turned into a victim. Just check this out.
Go, man, if you're looking for you ain't gotta go farther than your pod. My boys be telling you like being a prison yard hole.
He's from Harlem, New York, because we can clearly see the views had it written at the bottom of the screen. But if that isn't enough, Q tells Strip to relay a message to Bishop to meet him at 125th Street by the Henry Hudson.
When? Where? 125th Street by the Henry Hudson, by the Donna.
And when you Google it, it puts you right in Harlem, home of the Apollo Theater. These four guys had a crew called the Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking crew.
And they had been friends for a long time. Q mentioned that him and Bishop had been friends since the second grade. They were heavy on smoking cigarettes and drinking beer.
Gotta get it right, buddy.
They'd even take turns to go get cigarettes. Maybe because in New York, the legal age to buy cigarettes was 18, and no one was 18. Or was it? Either way, no one had a job, so for money, Bishop hustled people on the video games at the pool hall. New York was in a recession, so Bishop was in dire need for money, and he would do anything to get it. When the neighborhood friend Blizz robbed the bar, he wanted in on the action for a quick come-up. This was a failed attempt.
Word right now? He let you out? Asked me if I wanted a piece of the action. And you said no? Hell yeah, I said no. Man. What is you crazy? Yo,
So there was a plan set in place to rob the local convenience store owned by Mr. Quillaz. But before this, what led up to all this from Bishop? Well, he had something to prove because he wanted the juice. Juice is given to someone who is powerless by giving them a weapon to commit violence. This makes you powerful. He also has this thing where no one is above the crew, but he puts himself in that position. Day in and day out, he was being bullied by a gang leader by the name of Radamas, and he ran the Puerto Rican gang Rapido Morte. This was secondhand embarrassment for Bishop, and he needed the juice. He thought about this every day when running from the police for skipping school. This was clearly evidence of foreshadowing the way that Rufus showed. Meeting up with the crew, they had a plan in place, and it was set for Saturday, April 8th. But this led to a conflict because Q had a competition for DJing, and that would set off his career, but he didn't want to miss it for anything, and this made Bishop hot. There goes that hot temper we talked about. Well, they needed an alibi, and the competition was it. Everything is in motion, and they get to the store to rob Mr. Quillaz, and during the robbery, Steele stays a part of Raheem's name, so Bishop ends Mr. Quillaz's life. Now at the getaway spot, Bishop is confronted for shooting Mr. Quillaz, and he makes the fatal decision of shooting Raheem. This was his best friend, his mans. Now this definitely wasn't a mistake. First things first, remember the definition for juice? And Bishop thinks he got it. So for one, his plan was to do something grimy in the first place because he has a weapon that was given to him for the robbery, but he also has another gun that no one knows about. Not even his friends. It was bound to happen. Also, it's revolver style. Clean getaway. They make it back to the competition and now the police arrive. Now how did they know it was them? Maybe because they were best friends? Well, Bishop was overly confident in the police interrogation and even gave a Rodderman's name as the prime suspect.
Region gang, Rapido Morte.
Yeah, we know who they are.
Little do he know, he's going down because he made simple mistakes when committing these crimes. At the crime scene, they wear ski masks. Those ski masks are made of insulated sponge, and sponges pick up liquid. Bishop screams at Quillaz, and we know that when Bishop screams, saliva flies, and that's caught up in that foam. Running away, they all throw their mask behind an abandoned car, but if you notice Bishop, he drops his face mask in clear view of the crime scene. Crime is solved 101 by the detectives. They are let out of the interrogation, and this is bad for the crew. Raheem is dead at 18 years old, and Bishop feels the juice, and he feels his friends will turn on him. They won't, but not in his mind. Now let's figure out some days here, and we're going to go on the timeline where these crimes are committed. Now Raheem is shot April 8th, but the newspaper says Tuesday, April 16th, but that doesn't align with the day he was shot, so the newspaper is dated in our real life timeline, and if we count from April 8th to the Tuesday after next, it would be April 18th that falls on a Tuesday. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And one day passes because Q and Bishop has on a different outfit, so this makes it April 19th, and Rodamash runs into Bishop and pop! He is terminated. Juice is raging him, and now he goes to his friend Steele and shoots him too. But Steele isn't dead. Q becomes overwhelmed by everything that's going on, and he meets up with Tripp and tells him to relay a message to Bishop. Meet him at 12 a.m. He wants to settle things. Moving on, now it's April 20th. Bishop meets up with Q, but he wants to take him out of his misery. They confront each other, and he shoots him in the arm before heading up to the building rooftop. Bishop, with his juice, attacks Q with the weapon because, like I said earlier, the definition of juice is contracting a weapon that makes you feel powerful. Q knocks the weapon out of Bishop's hand and onto the side of the ledge hanging off. 1, he doesn't have a weapon, so he is easily toppled. And 2, that's foreshadowing of the roof earlier. Q grabs his hand, but Bishop slips and falls to his death, and Bishop is killed April 20th, 1991. Bishop's whole soul was to embrace this juice for empowerment, and with it, he terminated 2 people, Mr. Quillaz and Raheem, and he shot 2 people that ended up surviving, Q and Steele. His juice is lost, and now Q has it, but Q looks at it at a different meaning, or a different way, because he doesn't need a weapon to become powerful. Notice the toss. Now, if there's anything you feel that I left out or may be wrong, please comment and let me know. Peace.